Hi and welcome to this instructional video on how to get into the new LIMS system called Trak. I'm sure there's millions of people watching this, so I'll try and do a good job. So this is my laptop that's running at home, but I can switch to my desktop at work like this, and then this is how we're getting onto the test environment. So this is running through Chrome. This is the window you'll see. This isn't how we're going to log on in the live environment, but just bear with me whilst we go through this step. You don't click install, you click skip to log on. Then if you're confronted with this screen, you put in your Nadex username and password. Click log on. And then it may ask you to launch something, but it hasn't this time. So this is the one we need, Trak Care Lab Test Environment. Run. So here is the launch icon down here. So Chrome, it comes down here. Explorer, it comes up as a screen in the middle there for you to click accept or to install. That then starts up. Then permit it to run. Then we get this box. Now this should be very similar to the live environment. And obviously it will say live, and it won't be purple. It has a different colour. But again, it's just your Nadex logins. Now when you've put in your username and password, hit the tab button, which turns that T blue. Click on the T. And then here we are, and you're logged in, and this will probably sit in the background for the whole of the day. So we don't need to do that bit too often, unlike Telepath, where we were constantly having to relog back in. The only thing we're going to need is this icon here, Lab Results Entry. Ignore all the rest, even this one called Lab Results Entry /a ... something. Just this one. So double click on Lab Results Entry, and we're confronted with this screen, which in theory should allow us to do everything we need. Now you'll notice the white boxes along the bottom here, and they actually relate to the titles along the top. It defaults to this first column, which is the episode number. Now the episode number is something new to us. It's not something we've used before, but it's something they wanted in hematology, biochemistry, that sort of thing. And it's an overriding number underneath which you can have a number of accession numbers, which is what we would call specimen numbers. Now as it's defaulting to this left-hand episode number, we're going to use that to scan in off the request form, and the episode number is the top left one. And I've got an example here. When you scan it in, the case will then appear on the screen. So episode number, patient location will have some of the patient's demographics. It'll tell you the test set you currently have, and then what's more familiar to us is the accession number. And that's changed. This is now standardized. H for histology, then the year, and then letter code for the site, and then our usual specimen number. And that's what you see on the POTS, the form in the top right, and on the slides and the cassettes, etc., etc. But given that we default to this first box, we can actually scan in the episode number, which is top left of the request form. If you want to, you can click in this box and scan the accession number off the slides if you wanted to do it that way. This has brought up the case in this box at the top, so double click in there, and that brings us into the case for reporting. So this is the reporting screen that we'll see. Again, demographics along the top, and then the Word document here, which is where we'll do our report. So this is going to be a standardized form, accession number or specimen number on the top, then our usual macroscopic description will all be inputted. The macro will have been typed by the secretaries, etc., etc., which we'll be checking like we normally do. Macro description, and then microscopy is where we would type our report. Dragon will dictate into this box. So all those canned reports that we've already got in Dragon will go straight into there. So report normal duodenum, we'll put in the normal duodenum report straight into that box. There's another way to do that is in this histocode section at the bottom right, which we can click into, and there are loads of canned reports in here. I will be sending round a list of these and pick out the ones you normally use. And once you know the code, you can put the short code in the top there, or if you're not sure of the code, you can search for it in the bottom here. So we could put in find. That would show us all the duodenum shortcut reports. So for example, there's one there that's duodenum within normal limits. Click on it, click OK, and that's put that into the report. If we already knew the code, we can just type the code in there or scan it if we've got a barcoded list of reports by our computer. So let's put that in there. The only other thing we need to do is do the SNOMED codes. To do that, we can type them into so there's a top box, which is where the codes will actually, you'll see the codes, or there's this box at the bottom where again you can use some shortcut codes to code it automatically. So if you know the codes, the shortcut synonyms, you can put in, for example, skin, NRN, so SKN, NRN for skin normal. Hit the tab button and that will put the SNOMED code in the top and you'll see it there, skin normal. So you've put your report in, you've SNOMED coded it, then you need to put in the reporting pathologist. Again, we've all got our shortcut codes, which you could have a barcode which you could scan into this box to put yourself in there automatically, or you can pick yourself off the list, click on it, click OK. So reporting pathologist, SNOMED code report, all checked. If you don't want to authorize it without seeing what it's going to look like, press print preview. Click yes, you'll update it. And then how the actual report will look will come up, and that will show you what demographics there are at the top of the report and what it's actually going to say at the bottom. So reported by is blank because I'm authorizing it myself. I'm there as the consultant. It's got the episode number and things like that. Just close that window down. It takes us back to where we were. So a few more words about the screen whilst we're here. Don't touch any of the Word functions or buttons. You don't even need to press the save button. That won't do anything. And certainly never press the close button. That just ruins everything. If you want to save your changes, you click update. If you want to change this to what you've done, you can press clear, and if you want to get out of the report, press cancel. Don't ever close the Windows box or try and fiddle around with anything over here, except you can, on that print preview screen, press print and it will print a copy of the report for you to look at, but won't do anything else. To authorize the report then, you click authorize. And there it's gone. Report's still there. You can bring it back up again. And you can see that button has become a deauthorize button, so I can click deauthorize, and then you might want to put in why you're deauthorizing it, and we'll come up with an SOP as to whether we put anything in this box or not. Click OK. So then we've got back to the update and authorize buttons as we were before. A few other things. If there's a scanned image of the original request form, you can see it by double-clicking on the I button here. Previous reports you can see by pressing the double-clicking on the H button, which will show you all previously authorized results for that patient. So this is the one that we've currently got, but the others would be below it if there were any. To see anything at all relating to that patient, you can click on Mode and then Cumulative Results Inquiry, and that would show you all the previous tests for that patient in that table. we go back to the lab results entry screen, the other thing we'd want to be able to do is to look up a patient in the system. So if we just clear everything, you can click on this button here, so the one with the dots will bring up a patient inquiry screen. So here you can put in a surname such as Zebra, forename Test. Click on the find or hit the F5 key. Will bring up everything we've got on the system for people with those names. Click on the one you're interested in, and then F2 or existing episode will bring up that case again, whether it's authorized or not, and it will show you where we're up to. And then you can click into it and again look at the report, deauthorize it, and add supplementaries or not. There's loads of other functions along the top which we haven't really worked out how we're going to use them yet. So voice would be for macro or micro recording, and then secretaries to dictate. We're not using that at the moment. We don't need to worry about test sets. Now, the one thing I haven't discussed yet is how trainees will work in this system. So the reporting pathologist is the one that goes at the bottom of the report next to the consultant pathologist box. So that will always be the consultant signing the case out. So that will be me for my cases. If there's a trainee, then they need to go into Inquire, Edit Daybook, select the case you're working on. So this is the daybook, which you'll hear the lab staff talking about a great deal, where they do a lot of their slide and block tracking and allocating of cases. But for the trainee to appear on the bottom of the report, they need to be in the micro performed by box. So they'll need to pick themselves off the list. Again, they can scan their code into this box or type it in themselves. So if we find Carrie there, she can be a trainee for the day. Micro performed by Carrie, which means that at the bottom of the report, it'll come up with Carrie as the reporting pathologist and me as the consultant pathologist. Click OK or Update, and that'll take you back to the report. And that will be, as I said, how it will work. If we look at the print preview, that should have the two of us at the bottom of the report. We are Carrie and myself. The theory is that when trainees are signing cases out by themselves, we'll have an option here for reporting pathologist, as in consultant pathologist, which will say something like case reported by independently by a trainee. So I have their name and then no consultant, just that statement. And then what we will do when we're auditing the cases is that we would deauthorize it, write a statement along the bottom that we have we agree with the above report, and put our name and date on it. So we come out of that screen. One other thing to be aware of is not to move these screens around. That Word screen, I'll show you, you go in, moves independently from the other screen. It'll get very confusing. You'll get things lost. You'll not know where your Word document is, so just try and leave them in the same place on the screen as much as possible. I think that's everything I need to say. Hopefully that was clear. I'll go back to my laptop and turn it off.